We are the Ministry of the Real Truth, and we strive to bring you the real truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. We look at what the organised religions, their rabbis, imams, street preachers, evangelists on Daystar TV, etc., say in regards to the biblical scriptures, and we try to verify if that's the truth through personal research, or we expose them full of charlatans, proven they are. We were going to give you this long comment using a voice, a speech to text software, but it doesn't pronounce words as they're written. It spells them out and could be quite annoying, quite confusing. So we're going to read it. This is evidence here that we put this comment on this particular video, where this young lady comes out on his live stream or something, or she's done a video and they're looking at him and William, that he's a liar. Okay, so in reply to somebody else saying that, oh yeah, he twisted it, he's a liar, etc., here is our comment. We have listened to many of his claims. Okay, here, perhaps that's why he left Indonesia and went back to Israel. We have listened to many of his claims and checked them with the original ancient very old sacred scribe of Old Tongue, the Lishana Artika Supreya, that Maria Allah, or God in the Aramaic, from the original ancient very old Tav Asherit, the sister language of the original ancient very old Tav Ivri, or original ancient Hebrew. This is the very old Hebrew. Why we say very old? Because it differentiates it between the modern Israeli Hebrew that the Israelis, the Jews, etc. speak in Israel today. These manuscripts were hand-copied by scribes, monks in Urhai, Edessa, now modern Turkey, around 800 BCE. Andrew Gabriel says 900. It's translated into the nearest English equivalent by a native-born Aramaic-speaking translator from Mesopotamia, Syria, without the common bias, prejudice, adding, taking away, twisting of scriptures, adding his own flavour, etc. We have communicated with Professor James Defrancisco, who has 2 PhDs in the, note this, modern Hebrew or Israeli Hebrew and Aramaic, modern Syriac. He stated us he met Tovia Singer in the States and told us he can't stand the Christian Gospels, New Testament, and can't get his head around the Syriac text. He also met and discussed the Bible text with Andrew Gabriel Roth and Victor N. Alexander, whom he said are doing their own thing, and doesn't agree with Victor N. Alexander's translation of the Brita in Aramaic or Genesis in English, Genesis 1:27. We did come across an article or statement by a lady to Luke Ford on his blog site, perhaps a convert to Judaism, this Luke Ford, therefore a rabbi, that Tovia is a Cohen or Cohen, a descendant of Aaron of the Old Testament. He tried to get with this particular lady, and according to her then 15-year-old daughter was saying to her that he was standing there at 2 a.m. in the morning just staring at her, sleeping on the couch in this lady's apartment for 2 or more hours, around 2 a.m. in the morning, roughly. She told him to leave, but he wouldn't leave, because there's no way you should be perving on a 15-year-old girl, right? He's on some sort of medication, he sleeps all day, and is well versed in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. He wanted to marry her, but she told him he couldn't marry her. At the time she was having problems, maybe she was a divorced woman, we recall, and he's a Cohen, and couldn't. The other rabbis or some woman-related mitzvah committee denied her the ability to continue with and get certified because she was associating with him, Rabbi Tovia Singer. We looked at this practice NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and they tend to look at you sideways as he does when he talks, etc. We received a thank you from the woman he stayed with in Indonesia for exposing him via the Luke Ford blog. She said he needs to be exposed. We agree. Singer does twist the scriptures, but he does it in a way that sounds convincing, and many brainwashed lovers of him support him, praise him, and will come at you if you comment on the truth about him from behind the scenes. The one thing going for him, if he looks at the NT Christian theology, is that all of the Bible translations that all have today, that read from today, teach, preach from today, the modern Americanized English translations are from one mother source or church. They have been said corrupted down through the centuries. From the video, Brian with the beard, being read from and preached to others by preachers, evangelists, etc., therefore have been mistranslated, added to, constantly revised, etc. So that's why he gets the idea that the scriptures here and there have been twisted by the New Testament authors, such as Matthew, etc. He's not aware of the Tav Asher, or if he is, he's ignoring it. Check out our questions as seekageek, that's our other channel name. It's all related to Linux and Windows usage, etc. Our questions as seekageek to James Defrancisco here, and his replies to us. There's a link below that to a video, and look for the comments on there. And we said, do Bible perspectives with 8116 or Dr. James Defrancisco, and a few things, and he got a bit uppity, but then he answered us. He says, I do not accept Vic's translation interpretation of Genesis 1:28 or 6:4. He is reading much into the text. For a good tool to study Aramaic, and he suggests a link, probably with his information on it, but we think that's a site that's not used, or Chinese or something like that. We mentioned it to him before. The lexicon for 6:4 states, and he puts all this information about the Syriac. And then he replies again to us that since this was over 4 years ago that he posted the video, the Aramaic scriptures, he wasn't sure he could find a link. He's spoken with and listened to several different rabbis since then. However, he did find it rather quickly, and he provided it. I must say first of all that John 7:53 to 8:11 is not in the original Peshitta version that he uses and refers to on his videos. It was probably added later. This is us. That is noted in most Christian Bibles, but Singer goes further and makes it sound like the story is loose. Oh, okay, this is what this James Defrancisco replied to us. He is grossly mistaken in many of his comments. The story is valuable and is not anti-Torah. Note, Rabbi Singer, whom he, Dr. James Defrancisco, had spoken to personally numerous times, hates the Gospels. He hates the Christian NT Gospels. He does not understand the differences between the Peshitta. We've added the in between to make more sense. He does not understand the differences between the Peshitta Aramaic, which differs from Daniel and Ezra, as well as the Targums and Talmud, because it comes from a different time and dialect, just as the Zohar Aramaic differs. Unfortunately, Singer does not take that into consideration. With that in mind, and he gives the link for the video, keep in mind that Dr. James is certified in the modern Syriac Hebrew, not the original ancient very old Aramaic, the Shana Artika Sapraya, Tav Ashret, and has no clue about the Eastern Syriac Peshitta or Western Peshitta, not being accurate, or forgets and perhaps won't admit it. It is a latter derivative language or modern vernacular or derivative or dialect, and not the original. As told by him, as told by native-born Aramaic speaking translator Victor Alexander from Mesopotamia, Syria, by a high priest of the Apostolic Church of the East. This was founded by Adai or Thomas in around 1 AD. So this is a continuation of that original Apostolic Church of the East. Then given a Bible format copy of the original manuscripts of the original ancient very old Aramaic Tav Ashret in that particular language, of which he, realizing it along, did no longer used spoken language, found a method to translate those old manuscripts into the nearest English equivalent. But after 1 year of depression, he went through 1 year of depression, etc., because he translated Matthew, Luke, Mark, and John, or Matthew, Mark, Luke, because what he translated from the Eastern Syriac Peshitta of 1872, this is the Urmi version, copy of Urmi or Urmia was wrong by this high priest that he met and befriended. It's a mismatched translation. The American missionaries who went to Urmia to convert Syrians, that was their whole mission, then called Atarai or Surai. There's one in India, a faction of the Church of the East, because Thomas went there and founded these churches there, and they're known as the Indian peoples who kept this church going were either called the Atarai or the Surai to Western Christianity. Okay, these are converts. They went to convert Syrians to Western Christianity, who tried to translate the 1611 King James Bible into Syrian, or the Syriac, and had to create a grammar where there wasn't one in order to convert the Syrians, and botched it because these missionaries went to South America and there was Indians there and they had no concept of hell, so they couldn't convert them and they were frustrated, so they demonstrated to them fire, burn, forever sort of thing, and these South American Indians or natives created this word into their language for this hell that these missionaries had preached to them about, right? So that was a trick they used to convert these natives to Western Christianity. They basically made up this word, convinced them to make up this word to put into their ancient language or their modified version of that language, right? This kind of trickery they do. So there it is for you folks. We are the Ministry of the Real Truth, and we bring you the real truth, the whole truth, especially about these charlatans, okay, and what they get up to behind the scenes. We do appreciate, respect this Tovia Singer. We know that he has good intentions, etc. He does present the Gospels and explains it, and we're glad that he does that. But when we look at them, we examine them ourselves with the original ancient, very old Aramaic, the Tav Ashret, we find that he does get a lot of things wrong, okay, or he twists it, okay. So if you like this expose of this popular rabbi, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below. We're interested in those, very interested in those. We'll get back to you on those as soon as we can, and then go share this with all your family, friends, Christian friends, etc., who may have come across this Rabbi Tovia Singer in America or wherever, and not realise that this is what he's really like, according to others, behind the scenes. Thank you for taking time to watch this, our latest video upload. May you be blessed by it and through it, and come to realise that we, the Ministry of the Real Truth, aren't lying, not lying through our teeth, not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We see it as it is. We provide the source, links to the source, established facts, etc., etc. Many people have jumped at us and said, or come at us and said that we're lying, all this sort of stuff. They want to debate us, but we want to save them the problem of being shamed. We provide all our sources, the information, the facts, etc., etc. They don't bring us anything, yet they know better than us, right? So we say to them, where's your evidence for what you're saying? You didn't provide any sources or links to those sources. You've just quoted us half the Bible or something. You've not explained it, or if you have, you're twisting it. That's not what it says in the original. Even in your Americanized version, i.e. to do with slavery, servitude, servant slavery, etc. Okay, so if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, add your comments below, get back to you on those as soon as we can, then go share it with all your family, friends and others.